we really do believe at InteLogix that if you focus on a great customer experience every single time, all your KPIs, all of your business goals will just naturally fall into place. And that's what we've seen with Balto. We have less stressed agents. The stress level significantly goes down. It improves our speed to proficiency. It improves our attrition because agents look forward to come to work every day. And really, that is our focus every single customer, every single time.
Hey Chip. Hey Yvonne. Good to see you guys.
Hi,
Good to see you, Mark.
Mark.
Thank you so much for joining me on this success story. What we have done together in InteLogix's and Balto is really special, and I'm glad we all have the chance to jump here on video and do it together. Maybe we could kick it off with Chip and Yvonne. Would you guys mind giving just a brief background on your role at InteLogix and what your priorities are and what's top of mind for you? Then we'll jump into the Balto stuff. Chip, if you want to start.
Sure. Chip Kennedy. I lead the shared services organization for InteLogix. What's top of mind for me is augmentation. It's how do I bring technology? How do I bring AI? How do I bring that into the customer experience to help our agents in their front line make their job easier and just create a better customer experience overall?
Awesome, Yvonne.
I'm Ivonne Ortiz. I'm the Director of Training and Quality for InteLogix. And my main priorities are just how can we make our agents' lives easier, right? So they focus on providing great customer experiences every time. I started as an agent myself many, many, many years ago. And so I know everything that an agent has to do, and it can be a little bit overwhelming. So that really is my focus. How can I make our agents' lives easier?
I love that both you guys brought an agent first perspective,
Mm-hmm.
because it's almost like happy agents, happy customers. There's no possible way that you can deliver exceptional customer service with a burnt out, unhappy agent workforce. It's not doable. So maybe to kick us off, could you guys talk just a little bit about around like how you see agent happiness at InteLogix? Like, why is that important to you? And what are some of the things that you've been working on before Balto in order to make that happen?
So I know that as director of training, what we've been really focused on is how can we improve training and development, right? How can we set up our agents for success from day one? And how do we build agent confidence? Happy agents provide happy and great customer experiences. All sorts of data proves that, right? And so if we empower our agents to be able to create customer experiences and reduce that stress from them, that really will be the sole focus. And we really do believe at InteLogix that if you focus on a great customer experience every single time, all your KPIs, all of your business goals will just naturally fall into place. And that's what we've seen with Balto. We have less stressed agents. The stress level significantly goes down. It improves our speed to proficiency. It improves our attrition because agents look forward to come to work every day. And really, that is our focus every single customer, every single time. So what we've done before Balto with InteLogix is really focusing on how we can improve our development and our training content to be able to support those business goals. And then Balto added on to that, just enhanced all of our current processes. And that's what we really stress at InteLogix is that we leverage what Balto can do, not to replace all of our processes, but to enhance them. So that really is our current focus with Balto as we move forward.
Super smart. And I just wrote something about that the other day where a lot of times people forget that, AI is a system, it's a technological system, But an organization is a human system. An organization is
Mm-hmm.
a system of people who are given objectives and organized in a certain way in order to, and then everyone specializes in a certain way to go accomplish those objectives. And if you plop an AI, a technological system, into a human system, you don't take into account the human system that's already there, then you're going to see a lot of friction. You need those things to work together. So, Ivonne, when you're talking about how Balto has been making existing processes more efficient and more effective, that is absolutely the right starting place for AI versus, painting a picture of a world that's far off and that doesn't exist yet and trying to pursue that to start.
Yeah, and you know where we've seen that the most, Mark, is really our quality process, where we've seen the evolution of our QAs from moving forward from less of a traditional QA that just monitors, evaluates. We leverage QA Copilot and the QA scoring with Balto so that our QAs focus on those meaty pieces of that customer experience, scoring those and obtaining those insights. So
Mhm.
it's really helped us evolve our QA personnel into more of an analyst. So less of an evaluator and more of an analyst. And as InteLogix, we really focus on developing our team members. And that really was the goal. With Chip and I this year is how do we evolve our current trainers and our current QAs to move from the less traditional approach and now embrace AI. And so now we're seeing that evolution of our team members becoming data analysts, and they really love it. It's a
Mhm.
change, and change isn't always easy. So it's a lot of learning, a lot of really great insights from Balto, but it really has helped us evolve that profile. Very proud of that.
Yeah, it has. And Mark, the interesting outcome, we've run into an unintended consequence here. As we've moved our QA teams into the broader view, instead of the I'm watching one agent twice a week, and if I hear something wrong on a call, I'm going to go tell them you did something wrong on this, and here's the one item. That may have been the one time that the agent had an issue, and the policing format comes into play, and the QA relationship's bad. Now we're looking at all the calls and we can pick out threads of behavior and we can work with agents to improve a behavior-based component. So the happiness is lifting the peacefulness, if you would, between QA and agent and that dichotomy. It's smoothing out and it's again making for happier agents, which then translates to better calls. It's nice watching the tide lift all of those ships at once.
It's so cool hearing when AI has a positive cultural change.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you kind of think about like, so what is the standard thing people hear on social media? It's like AI is going to come in and rip your culture apart and have everyone at each other's throats and who's next? Are you going? Are you going? And but when you hear about AI having a positive cultural
Yeah.
change like this, two functions that previously QA didn't have the full picture of agent performance. So they were doing the jobs the best they possibly could, but that meant that they might be catching agents on an off day and that the way they had to execute their job was a little bit more punitive than you might want. And now that they
Mm-hmm.
have this visibility that they're able to actually bridge those two functions, that's really special. A lot of companies have struggled to make the kind of change that you guys have done, especially with QA. Could you talk us through it, like maybe the nitty gritty of like, all right, you're going from the previous way you were doing a QA, and you're telling folks we're going to start doing a new way. Like what did those conversations sound like inside InteLogix?
Initially, whenever you do propose change, you're going to be out of your comfort zone, right? And that could be it can make some people nervous. But I think once we explained, this is how much more productive you're going to be. No more listening to X amount of calls just to be able to get quick insights and trends and spending all of your day trying to monitor for a specific goal in mind. Now you'll have that information so you can really complete that deep dive on your end. It's going to make you more productive. And once we were able to show those pieces to our QA personnel, they really embraced it because they feel now that the insights that they're sharing it's impactful and it's quick and it's enough to be able to drive performance or where, they don't have to put A or B tasks aside to be able to focus on this big fire that we need to put out. We need to know what kind of call drivers we're getting today. We're seeing a spike in HD. These are answers we can get within a matter of seconds or minutes at the most with Balto. No more QA dropping everything to be able to focus on targeted monitoring. We're able to get those insights. And so our QAs really feel empowered. And once you show how change is going to empower you and help you build upon the skills that you already have, that's where you get that adoption, that quick adoption.
Mhm.
What's in it for me, right? So I want to know how this change is going to impact me. And once we showed that to our QA staff and our trainers, they were all on board. I mean, I, I have over 20 years of experience in customer service and the customer experience. And I wish I would have had this when I started as a QA. I'm so jealous of our QAs now because um, how much time I spent on being able to just listen to calls to get trends just drives me crazy right now to think about it. And it's something that we can provide our clients in just a matter of minutes.
Mark, I think the key points in that one is to be able to show the teams what they can do with it and how they can use it, and don't set expectations up front. Don't tell them that we're going to put this out and this is what's going to happen, or you'll have less time to do this. Let them get to their own expectations
Mm-hmm.
and be able to show them how they can use it and how they can improve their day to day. Because again, we're taking a lot of the headaches out of their lives by simplifying searches, making some of these ad hoc components faster, and they absolutely love it. When they see that, they take a breath. They say, I can still do my job. I can still do everything I'm doing. And I get a little bit more time to myself or a little bit of an opportunity to improve what I'm doing. And that's really all people are looking for.
Chip, what a great counterintuitive piece of advice. Don't set expectations up front. Because it sounds like what you guys really did is you invited the team to get in there and figure out the technology with you. It was
Mm-hmm.
not a top down, here's the technology you're using, and now you need to do this much more work in this much time. It was, here's the tools. You guys, like, jump in, figure it out, make the most of this. Like, you help us, understand what's reasonable. What an awesome counterintuitive thought there.
The team's been amazing at the adoption since that. When you give them their own controls and their own destiny to work through, with some guidance, obviously, it's not a complete free for all. Ivonne does an amazing job at providing not so much expectations, but endpoints. And the teams have jumped on them and jumped to Balto and taken to truly like fish in water.
And that approach really helps us even exceed expectations. We hear that from our clients all the time whenever we provide our initial Balto analysis and impact and projections and performance. Our clients are just wowed initially right off the bat. Like, I was not expecting this, right? They
Mhm.
expect, again, traditional QA. And so that's where you really wow your clients is you're just starting off strong. What would take a traditional QA process a year to achieve, you're already there from week one. And so
Mhm.
that's where we get a lot of our client affirmation is a lot of great response from our clients saying thank you, this is data that's really going to help us optimize our processes, improve the customer experience. And I got it in the first week of doing business with you, of taking calls, right? Where it would take us longer with other customers. So very happy
Wow.
about that.
Let's jump to some of the successes then.
Hmm.
If you're able to name specific accounts, that's great. If you're not, you can just say, Acme Co or whatever. But can you think of one or two really specific successes that you've been able to drive, that we've been able to drive together in this partnership?
Yeah, so we have a marketing client that we've worked with for many, many years, and they had concerns about a lack of enrollments in their products. And they wanted to tackle two things with Balto or be able to rely on us to be able to solve for them. And one was dispositioning. That dispositioning was crazy with that client. And when agents have to disposition on top of everything else that they have to do on their calls, you don't always get 100% adherence on that dispositioning. And if you do, the reliability of that data is not always accurate, right? It's not 100%. And so they really wanted to get dispositioning on their end to identify why are customers calling? What are the top complaints? What is driving a lack of enrollments? Why are we not enrolling more customers in our product? And what we were able to get with Balto right away is dispositioning data. We worked with our account manager, Katie, and we explained our challenge and this is what we need from this client. And we were able to build dispositioning within the Balto tool. So within a matter of a couple of days, we were able to get dispositioning 100% of the calls on the agents on the platform. And that's gold to that client because with that information, we were very early on able to identify why are customers saying that they're not enrolling? Why are customers saying that they don't like about the product or what is causing them to just hesitate on the enrollment? And we were able to change the communication for those customers. And it really was as easy as improving the marketing of that product, the communications that go out about the product, and make it very clear to those customers of you'll get A, B, C, or D, and you have options, and it could be customized. And customers were not aware of that before. And with that, we were able to build the Balto Agent Assist content to be able to drive more enrollments with rebuttals, with explaining benefits, right, of the features. And with that, customer, we were able to see that within a month of making those changes, their enrollment went up by 24%. That's huge. That was huge. And it was something that we were able to get from that dispositioning reporting and have a very quick impact on our customers' business goals. So that was a very exciting win for us. That was really the biggest spike in their marketing enrollment they had seen in the history of their company. So we're very proud of that. We were able to leverage Balto Insights for that.
Wow. And I love, Yvonne, that, a lot of folks, they have a little bit of a bias when they see this kind of data and they say, okay, why are enrollments in this product not happening? Okay, I'll go to the team and do more training. I'll train everyone and say, no, really make sure you get the enrollments. And I love that, part of your process was, you took the learnings and put it into Agent Assist, but another part of the process was an upstream decision. Something that
Mm-hmm.
wasn't something where, you're just working with the agents or the supervisors on the floor, but you're making some decision about the product or the messaging or how you communicate more broadly. And I think that a lot of times people get really stuck in that first spot where they're just like, okay, we'll do more training. And they aren't able to zoom out and say, well, how can I turn this into an insight that impacts the broader business? And the
Mm-hmm.
example that you gave, I think, did a really awesome job of showing how you can do both with AI insights.
And you're right. Sometimes looking at just data like KPI performance, you think you know what the root cause of something is, right? And you tend to go to, well, let's uptrain, right? Let's do refresher training. And what we took a look at was what are customers saying? So what you would typically have to maybe roll out a survey for or complete a voice of the customer project to be able to get insights from, we were able to get that from Balto very easily. So it was a more efficient way of getting that customer input and not having to roll out a separate project. We were able to get what customers were saying from Balto transcripts and Balto insights.
Let's talk about that for a minute. One of the things I think a lot of times, customers will struggle with is great. We have these insights. Now, how do we package them up and share them? Like, do we just take it and copy it and paste it into an email? Do we do something like a monthly email? Have you guys, been able to work on this for long enough where you've developed some best practices around how to take those insights and get them to your client in a really, in a really compelling way?
hmm We have created a cadence where we complete our Balto analysis. And what we do is we're able to leverage all those great insights, customize them to what our client needs. We handle customer service, collections, first party, and third party. And they're individually have a lot of similarities in terms of customer experiences, but different business goals. And each client wants different insights. And we're able to very quickly be able to tailor the insights that we get from Balto for that specific client. So where our customer service clients focus on resolution and customer satisfaction, our collections clients may focus on dollars collected and why are we not getting those dollars? So we're able to very easily customize by asking very targeted questions for Balto Insights. The Balto Insights feature is really a game changer. They really changed everything that we do with Balto. I'm so excited about that. We're able to take all those insights and create a week over week view of the customer journey for our clients. And we do that through an analysis, and then we create dashboards for them where we measure pre-Balto and then post-Balto. And we're able to tie KPI performance to the Balto impact, where we've seen a significant improvement in AHT, specifically ACW, because of the note taker feature. And we're able to tie actual seconds at the agent level, at the team level, and at the operation level. This is how much we've reduced AHT. This is how much we've improved customer satisfaction. Even error rates, we're able to identify how we've reduced error rates for a lot of our clients. And those are insights that we're able to provide our clients on a weekly, on a daily basis. With having our QA team focus on the analysis piece of it. No more monitoring all the time to be able to get this data, is now take the data that Balto's giving you and create analytics for our client. And that's what we're doing right now.
And with AHT, ACW, and error rates, what are some of the metrics that you guys have been able to do in partnership with the Balto team?
Well, we've been able to reduce AHT on average by 30 seconds, primarily because of the note taker feature. It's reduced that ACW to more than half of what our agents are used to. And then we've seen that customer satisfaction insights be aligned with our clients' CSAT or NPS. So just recently, we were able to add an additional feature to the note taker feature of Balto that will give us end of the call customer sentiment. So as a default, we're able to get with Balto initial customer sentiment. And of course, most customer service callers they're not happy. They're calling in because they need assistance. They're not calling us to tell us everything's working great. You're having a great day. I hope so, right? They're calling us to tell us, I have a question, I have an issue, I need resolution. And what we're able to do is we're able to measure how are clients coming in, what is their sentiment, how are they leaving us? And that's the meaty part of it. I want to know how they're leaving us. Were we able to change that negative customer sentiment interaction to a positive one? And if we were not, why? Is it a process optimization opportunity? Is it a development opportunity? Is it a training content improvement, right? We're able to take all those insights and be able to take that data to provide action items for what we need to do. Either work with our client on the process optimization part and provide our recommendations, or develop our team members.
The data that you shared around starting sentiment and ending sentiment. I remember I saw that graph a few weeks ago and said, whoa, this is amazing. And you guys had, I think you broke down the sentiment, beginning sentiment and ending sentiment. You broke down both of them by positive, neutral, negative. So
Mm-hmm.
you're able to say what percent of customers start positive and end positive, start positive and end neutral, start positive and negative. You can kind of flesh out all the different options. Do you offhand remember or have access to that data that you shared, and how the sentiment changed over the course of that particular client's interactions?
Yeah, for that specific client that we were reviewing, 57% of their interactions were coming in as negative. That's a pretty big number. And then the rest of it were coming in as neutral. Um, we had a very, very small amount of positive customer sentiment that was coming in initially. And what we were able to notice is that we were able to change most of those interactions to positive customer interaction. So much so that we ended with 4% negative customer sentiment. And those were usually customers where, um, for example, they had an overdue balance, and unfortunately, that overdue balance needs to be paid, right? Of course, you're not going to be too happy about that. So there were opportunities in terms of perhaps the process there, and we working with our client to reduce that. But leaving only 4% of those interactions being negative
Mhm.
was huge compared to how they were coming in. That told us a lot. And when we were able to deep dive even more of why were these interactions changed to positive customer sentiment, we got the majority of that because of our agents. Our agents were engaging, they were able to achieve resolution, all the great things that we want our agents to do. Our agents were able to do that on those calls. And so, it serves as a lot of positive reinforcement, right, for our agents as well to say, this is how much of an impact you have on the operation. This positive customer sentiment is because of you. You did this. This is your win, right? So, yeah, that end of the call customer sentiment was really a game changer for us.
And
Our
that goes back
clients
to
are
culture.
loving that. Hmm.
Yeah, and that goes back to culture.
100%. It does go back to culture. It also goes back to the ability to augment as we go through the process. Balto's providing the focus, if you would, for the agents to really work with the customer on the experience and taking a lot of the simple tasks and just providing it to them so they don't have to think about it. They don't have to worry about the note taking. They can see next steps as they're processing through. They can truly focus on the customer. That switch in customer sentiment, we tie directly back to ROI and future
Hmm.
investments and future deployment. It's a no-brainer for a client that deploys something like that.
Chip, coming into Balto, I remember you had had a good chunk of experience doing a lot of process improvement initiatives,
Mhm.
a lot of contact center transformations, and then also had seen and experienced a whole bunch of different AI tools. You had a lot of familiarity with a bunch of the different options out
Yeah,
there.
quite a bit.
Today, so far, we've talked about, quality, we've talked about insights, we've talked about, the agent assist, the guidance, the note taking, the tracking sentiment and dispositions. What stands out to you based on everything that you've experienced as maybe the one or two most impactful capabilities that you think Balto has?
That's a hard one. I would say as a packaged suite, it provides really what you need across the platforms, across the bases. If I were to pick two, they're going to be my two favorites. One's insights out of the gate. Um, the ability for you to have a conversation with your customer and to be able to mine each one of those provides you insight to your customer journey from stem to stern. Customers will tell you more than you ever thought in one of these calls. They're happy to let you know when something's not working or something's off. And the ability for you to pick that up after evaluating all the call sets that are coming through is an absolute gold mine. We can impact customer journey from the sales motion, from the retention motion, all from the information we're garnering on customer service calls. It is truly the one spot where you have a pulse on your customer base year round, 24/7. The second one, I love Note Taker because it's quick for the agents, but give me sentiment day in and day out. If I've got happy customers, I've got a happy client, I've got a great business, I know that that business is going to keep growing and expanding because the customers will constantly drive additional growth in that space.
Let's go around the horn. Ivonne, how about you?
And I have to pick just a couple. So definitely the insights. That has transformed our quality department. It really has. It has changed the approach, our quality process. It has improved it significantly. Um, so very, very excited about that. The insights and then the QA co-pilot. It gives us the chance to be able to recommend quality improvements to our clients. It makes it so easy. It analyzes 100% of the calls of the agents on the platform, and it removes that targeted monitoring from our QA personnel. So that just alone, in terms of an efficiency and productivity standpoint, it has helped us evolve. And then the coaching piece of it. The coaching piece of it, just because, I'm just agent development is just a passion of mine, and any way that we can provide and make coaching easier for our agents to get is just always going to be a win for us. And our agents seem to love that. They seem to be able to I really appreciate those quick coaching tips and then be able to see what the supervisor reviewed to support that coaching. So no more of, well, Chip has it out for me, right? He only listened to one call, and I don't really do that a lot of the times. It's more of, here are some examples where we could improve. And it helps us keep each other accountable. And our agents are then able, in that same coaching feature, give the supervisor their comments or acknowledge their coaching. Again, it doesn't replace our coaching process. That one-on-one coaching is still very important to InteLogix, and we still continue that. It's just a different way to deliver coaching, and our agents are very receptive to that. So those two are definitely my favorite. Or three, right? It was three that I mentioned, so.
See, I'm not counting. Now, I know that like no process is perfect and no rollout is without its bumps or challenges. Um, can you guys think of one part about, the rollout or, the continuous, adoption of a Balto that's been difficult and, something that's been a little bit of a harder part of it and how you guys have addressed that?
When I look at it, and when we started Balto with InteLogix, I didn't know what I didn't know. It was just so new to me. I've worked with speech analytics tools in the past, but Balto is very different than that. So I really was not sure of what I could do with it. And what I really appreciated is that Balto is very receptive to, how do we improve the tool? How can we improve Balto? And a lot of that conversation was learning opportunities for me to learn what the tool can do, because I would ask, so maybe this is what we can do to enhance the tool. And most of the time, it was the Balto team coming to me and saying, well, you can't do that. You can't do that right here. Let me show you. So just initially, just kind of getting that crash course of everything that Balto can do, that took a little bit. It was a learning curve for me. It took me a while to learn, but I feel like now that we have more Balto experiences, and as the tool is improving, very easily can now jump in there and be able to test out your new features that you're rolling out. I don't feel so lost anymore with the new tool.
Yvonne, there totally is a learning curve. And,
Yes.
honestly, one of the things that I think about a lot, and I'm working with the R&D team on a lot, is how do we make it easier? Can we shorten it? Can we package things into more videos? Can
Mm-hmm.
we, have more educational emails to our customers? Can we make it where almost, we literally talk about, can a button glow to say like, go here, are the things we can do to make it easier. But what's so amazing is there's absolutely a learning curve. And but a lot of people don't go all the way up the learning curve, if you will. They kind of get tired or frustrated or move on to something else. But I mean this totally sincerely, Yvonne. My guess is that you are now in the top 1% of AI acumen in the world. Like if you go to 100 people in a workforce and you say, hey, do you know how to set up AI tools and make them useful and scale them across an organization? Like you're in the top 1% of that. And I think that's important for everybody to hear. First of all, congrats and thank you for the amazing partnership, Yvonne. But that's like the promise at the other end of this. The promise is that you end up, having this tool set, this very powerful technological tool set that you master that allows you to do multiples of what you could do before. But there definitely is a learning curve to get there.
Becoming AI proficient, definitely learning curve, but I'm here for it. We're so excited about AI.
I'll finish off with, what do you guys think has been different or special about partnering with Balto?
The engagement,
Yes. Yes.
absolutely the engagement. All too often, you go to a team, you write a check, you get something deployed, and you're on your own. And that's not been the case. Mark, between yourself, Katie, the rest of your team, you've been here to help us navigate and partner with us on how best to move forward. And in doing so has massively increased our speed to proficiency and our speed to ROI on this.
And as we onboard more and more clients into Balto, the implementation process is so easy. It's just so easy. It takes all those nervous jitters out of a new implementation out of the way. It's just so seamless. That implementation team, and of course, Katie, I can't say enough about that team. They're just amazing.
As long as we have access to the Ring Central application.
Guys, thank you so much. I'm gonna send this right to your CEO. And really, this has just been really wonderful. And working with you guys is a ton of fun. It's really cool when I get to work with a customer and I learn something, where you guys come to me and say, "Hey, we actually tried using the tool for this and got something useful." Those are the most fun meetings I can be a part of, and you guys do that every single time. So really grateful for the partnership. You can be sure Balto is going to continue investing in it on our side. And having a customer in our customer base who has this level of AI acumen, is making good use of it, just makes me proud as a human. So thank you guys for being such a pleasure to work with, and thank you for the interview today.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mark.
Mark.